Hi guys, welcome back to Gonzo History Gaming. Today, in addition to our normal schedule of RPG a Day events, I'm also going to be taking a look at one of the, maybe the hottest new products on the gaming scene. I don't know, something that's been generating a lot of buzz recently. That is this, the Noteboard, which is a pocket dry erase whiteboard. This was just given to me while I was in London by my very good friend Stephen Paula. Hi Stephen Paula. And it is pretty cool. Now, you may have seen people talking about this on Twitter or on RPG forums, but let's take a look at it and see how it works in practice. Now, as you can see, the whole thing folds up into this little black bag, which you can easily fit into a back pocket, so that's pretty handy. You take it out, and it is folded up kind of like a map. And it has two sides. This is the blank side, and as you can see, I've got some notes on here that I made earlier. I folded it up, carried it around in my pocket, and they're not really smudged at all. You can see there's a, this was the outer panel, so it's got a little bit smudged, but they're still pretty legible. So, at the end of my gaming session, I could just fold it up, take it away with me, and the next session I could pull it out, unfold it, and it would remind me where we were at the end of the previous game. And so this is the blank side. Now the other side is the gridded side, and as you can see, it has actually got 3 grids on it, and I've highlighted them because as a teacher, I seldom go anywhere without my dry erase pens. Well, it comes with a black one, but I have my own green, blue, and red ones, and they're pretty cheap. And so it has an inch square, for games that use an inch square grid, like say Dungeons and Dragons. It has a hex grid, like maybe you're doing a wilderness map, or you play GURPS, which uses a hex grid, and it has a centimeter grid, further divided into millimeters if you want to get real teeny. And again, I drew this map earlier, I folded it up, and as you can see, the map's not smudged at all, and I can just put down, some miniatures on here. It has a pretty robust, it has a clear grid on it. The gaps between the panels are included, so that's an inch, so I can just stand one right on there. Now, as you notice, it doesn't lay perfectly flat, like it's a little bit raised up here. If I were going to do a lot of real active combat on the table, I think maybe I would weigh the corners down, but I don't know. It's much lighter than the sort of normal vinyl mat that you might find in a game. And even if you have a game that doesn't use position-based combat, as a lot of RPGs don't, I still think that this feature, just having the Noteboard, being able to visualize, sketch a map, or write out a plan, is a pretty convenient thing. It's about 35 by 15 inches, and I can't tell you what that is in metric off the top of my head, but that's about a meter. A meter is 39 inches. By a bit less than half. And it comes with this. This is the pen, and as you can see, on the tip of the pen there's an eraser, which I could just use to erase. And like any whiteboard, I think it would probably benefit from a periodic, proper cleaning. Now, the one complaint, as you see, it's smudging up pretty good there, but it'll just wash right off. The one complaint that I've heard is that this pen runs out of ink pretty fast. Obviously, I've only had it for a few days, so I can't test it, but it's not like dry erase pens are hard to come by. I should get a finer tipped one. The other thing is that you can use the bag, which is machine washable. You can use that as an eraser too. And just wipe out whatever you don't want and keep whatever you do. Now, I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this thing. And primarily because I don't play, the game that I run, my tabletop game that I run, is not in my home, as I think I mentioned before. It's at the house of a bunch of my players who all live together. So, for me, this is really, really useful because even if I did own a big battle mat, it would still be a pain in the butt to take it along with all the miniatures and all the books and all the yada 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 to this game on my bike. So, by contrast, this tiny little thing that I can fold up and slip in a pouch is super useful. The other big advantage is the price. These are about £10. I think you can get them for £11 on Amazon, or £10 plus shipping and handling for from the Noteboard site, or less if you order a bunch of them. They have a bulk discount. So if you have a big gaming group, what?
4 or more.
4 or more. If you order 4 or more, you get a bulk discount. I've just been informed by my lovely assistant and wife, Allison. Yeah, so I think it's pretty convenient. It's apparently you can cut it, which I don't think I would ever do, but you can tape it or hang it on a wall because it's super light. That would be cool as a form of display. I just think it's a really neat type of record keeping for games. I'm super happy about it. But then I play a game that has a lot of grid stuff in it. But I think it's telling that Pelgrane are, going to produce like a 13th Age version, even though 13th Age is, one of the forms of the D20 system that doesn't really put a lot of effort into tracking position-based combat. So I bet that you can imagine a lot of useful stuff for your game that you could write down on this. Take away and then bring back next time. That would be really convenient. So anyway, as far as I can tell, it does what it says on the tin. My guess is I'll probably want to give it a proper clean every now and again. As you can see, the erasing's still a tiny bit smudgy. It so happened that I asked for one of these. I put this on my birthday wish list, so I'm going to wind up with 2. So I'm going to have one for this game and maybe one for other games, or even one for work, because obviously it has a lot of applications other than the gaming. So anyway, that is the Noteboard in action. If you've heard about it and wanted to see it at work, that is what it is like.